Hi everyone, thanks for joining this day 2 of Mastering Cloud Administration, where we will go through the Azure 900 and Azure 104. So we had day 1 yesterday and we went through a lot of fundamentals and theories yesterday, and I hope you guys been there live or already watched the recording. If not, please do watch it. And today we'll have a lot more inner or deeper knowledge over the cloud, and please do ask your questions during um, the class is going on. The trainer will be helping you to understand the concept. So please do ask the question. And if you're not already in the community, please do join the community so that you will get the update of the next session as well as the upcoming trainings and webinar that we'll be doing. With that, I am done here and I'll be moving the mic to the trainer, Robin, to get started with where we left off yesterday.
Hey, thank you, Surak. Thank you for giving a detailed introduction, and it's giving a uh, summary of what we have been discussed on the last day. We supposed to start at 9:30 a.m. IST, so we were waiting for a large audience to join because we had a large crowd joined yesterday. So we were just giving a 5 to 10 minutes call of time for people to join and settle. I think we have a decent quorum today, so let's start the session with the topic where we left yesterday. So, good morning and good day, everyone. Once again, welcome to Mastering Cloud Administration webinar. Yesterday, we have discussed about introduction to cloud computing. We had a discussion about comparison of on-premises, colocation, and cloud computing. And finally, we have been landed on how to connect to the cloud computing. So that is a topic so far we have been discussed. Now, today's agenda is going to be, we'll be trying to discuss about few Azure core resources has been coming or it's been available on in a Microsoft cloud. We'll be discussing about cost management part. We'll be discussing about the support plan, and we'll be moving on into the service creation. So we'll be considering the first important service normally we are using on in a cloud, that's called Microsoft Azure Compute. So basically we are moving on into the VM creation part. So let's connect with the first topic today. Yesterday when we had a discussion about Microsoft cloud, the first portion or the first discussion we had, it's about how do we enable or how do we connect to Microsoft cloud. We understood Microsoft has been supporting different management tool. One of the common management tool which normally all the administrators across the world is been going to use, it's called portal.azure, right? So using a browser we are connecting, and with the help of that we are connecting here. We understood yesterday, additional to Microsoft Azure portal, we have a lot of other tools are also available. One of the common tool normally we are using, it's called Microsoft Azure PowerShell. The moment when you, if you're using a Microsoft Windows operating system, you may be seeing like there is a PowerShell tool. By default, it's been available on all the Microsoft operating system, including the client operating system, including Windows 10 or a Windows 11, which has been available on in your system. So Windows PowerShell is the alternate option in case if you are from a development background, or in case if you are from a automation background, or in case if you want to create some script, or if you want to automate few repeated tasks, normally we can able to use a Windows PowerShell. So that is a tool normally we can able to use it here on in a cloud infrastructure. Now coming on into other tools, yesterday we understood Microsoft is got a application also, app also. You may be able to see like app is having a, normally it's like it's by default it's been available, it's been on in a Play Store. With the help of Play Store we can able to coming on in a Android or iOS operating system. So with the help of that you can able to manage on in a cloud infrastructure. So with the help of that you can able to configure it on in a cloud infrastructure where you can able to manage, or where you can able to configure this settings, basically, like where you can able to manage you, or it's like a monitor or do a governance using an app also. Even you can able to use Microsoft command prompt, which has been currently available in your system. That's called Azure CLI. You may be already using a command prompt for a quite long time, starting off Windows NT onwards. All of us are using a Microsoft command prompt. With the help of that, you can able to do all the automation using a command prompt also. So you have a command prompt also available. Even with the help of the command prompt also, you can able to manage or automate or do a monitoring or troubleshooting of your Azure one. So yesterday we understood you have a n number of tools are available. It can be portal.azure.com, or it can be command prompt. Normally we are using a term called Azure CLI or PowerShell. In case if you're using any of these tools, it's mandatory that we need to have an account to be available. Without an account, you will not be in a position to manage your services on in a cloud portal. So you need to have a portal to be available where you need to have a um, account to be created here. Now, today we are going to discuss about one of the common term or a common feature, or the one of the core service which has been available on in a cloud portal, that's called subscription. Have you heard about a term called subscription? You may be heard about a term called you may be heard about a word called subscription when you are using a Amazon Prime Video, or you may be using a Netflix kind of a OTT platform, right? So have you heard about a word called subscription? Can you comment it on in a chat? Have you heard about a word called subscription? Now, yesterday we understood, in case if you want to use any of the cloud resources on in a portal, it's basically working in a kind of a OPEX model. OPEX model means that we have to pay, or it's like cloud has been working in a kind of a pay as you go model. So whatever consumption we are doing on in a cloud portal, we have to pay the money to the Microsoft, and that's been working in a OPEX kind of model. It's called operational expenditure kind of model. Now, now today we are going to discuss about another term. It's called subscription, right? You maybe heard about a word called subscription, right? Anyone heard about a word called subscription? Can you comment it on in a chat? Have you heard about a word called subscription? Yes. So what is your understanding about subscription? Can you comment it on the chat? So subscription is nothing. It's basically using for a billing purpose. If you create any resource on in a Microsoft portal, this has to be mapped to a billing plan. You may be seeing like when you start using Amazon Prime Video, or in case if you are using a Netflix, you may be seeing like we already have a subscription to be available, and you are doing a mapping against to that. Same thing you can able to see on in a Microsoft portal also. Let me connect to portal.azure.com. Let me connect to the portal.azure.com. Let me enter my personal details. Let me hide a screen for a moment so I can able to, let me hide the screen because I just need to enter few personal details while typing it. So let me enter the details. Let me enter the code here. Let me enter the details here. Give me a second. Give me a second, please. Yeah. So right now I'm just trying to connect to Microsoft portal here. Let me enter the OTP code. OTP code was not receiving, so I'm just checking on in my alternate account. Just give me a second. So trying to get a OTP code here. I hope you can able to see the screen now here. Okay. Now, right now we have been connected to Microsoft portal here. You may be able to see like all the resources which has been available on in a Microsoft portal can be managed with the help of this tool here, right? You may be able to see like all the options are available here and you can able to manage details here. Now, yesterday we understood on the left side of the screen, you are getting an option called all resources, all services you can able to see here. So the term you can able to see all services where you can able to see almost 200 plus resources are available on in a portal here. Now, the moment when you start creating any resource, let me take a sample of a resource here. Let me take a sample like compute here, for example, like virtual machine. You may be seeing like while creating a virtual machine, the first information it's been asking, tell me the subscription where you want to map here, right? You may be able to see like you have a different subscription can be mapped here. There's something like it's basically like when you spinning this virtual machine or when you create this virtual machine, technically there is a cost is been associated to that. Now it's asking, hey Robin, where you want to map your billing here. So it's saying that this billing has to be mapped under the Azure Pass sponsorship here. So similar way, when it is coming on in a real time scenario, for example, like you have a start working on in a project. In a project, you may be having a different department will be available. For example, like you have a HR department, or you might be having a finance department, or you may be having a production, or you may be having a uh, staging, or you are maybe having a DMC kind of different infrastructure or environment will be available here. So in a normally on in a real time scenario, organization will be creating a logical container. Basically, like while provisioning a resource, it's been doing a mapping on into different department or it can be on a geography here. For that you may be using a different subscription here. Now you may be having a question, how many subscription one account can have it? One account can have n number of subscription. There is no limitation or there is no uh, concern or it's like there is no limitation like that only one account can have only one subscription. No, you can have more than one subscription can be assigned to one account here. So one account can have more than one subscription can be aligned here. So technically if you take any resource here, you have a subscription is been available and one account can have more than one subscription can be mapped here. Right now on the screen you may be able to see there is a drop down box you can able to see here. You may be able to see like you have a drop down box you can able to see it here where you can able to map different subscription here. So it depends upon which subscription you are mapping here. Right now you may be able to see trainer subscription or Azure Pass. There are two subscription has been currently on in a disabled situation here, right? You may be able to see like it's been a disabled situation here. That means I'm not upgraded that account. That the reason that subscription is got disabled here. In case if that subscription has been active, while creating a VM, I would have mapped my billing against to that. Let me show you an example here. Let me just go back to old resources here. Let me see, is there any, yeah, there is no currently there two details is here. Let me delete this one. Then let me recreate here. So you'll be able to identify this one. So give me a second. Let me delete the decommission the existing one which we have created yesterday here and we'll start again. Let's wait for a minute. Right now, just deleted the existing resource here. So right now we are trying to see importance of a subscription inside a cloud organization. You may be notice here while creating a VM, it's mandatory that we need to mention or give the details about the subscription here. See, you may be able to see it's been while creating a VM. The first message right now we are getting on in the portal. It's asking, "Hey Robin, I understood like you are trying to create a subscription. You are so it's giving a message here with a star mark here, right? You may be able to see the right side corner. You may be able to see there's a red star mark. It's giving an indication, hey, administrator, it's a mandatory information which has to be provided to your system. So that's a mandatory one. You may be able to see in case if you're trying to create any other components also. For example, like if you're trying to create a DNS, let me take a alternate one. For example, like I want to create a public DNS. Even you can able to see while creating any other resource also, you can able to see this subscription details is a mandatory here. Whether you go for creating a network components or whether you try to create it a compute components or you try to create on a artificial intelligence or a database component, any resource which you are trying to create it on in a Microsoft cloud portal, it's mandatory that we have to provide a subscription. So you have to do a billing here. So Azure subscription is a logical container. It's basically using for providing a details for the billing here. It's basically for a billing purpose using. Right now on the few lecture note, I just pasted on in a chat here. So you can able to copy this one into your notepad or word pad, which will be helpful for your self study in the future here. So I just pasted on the chat here, right? So I just given a detailed explanation about what is a Azure subscription here. Now let me paste few more details. What are the factors which need to be given or you need to be considered while creating a subscription here? So you need to be there are few documentation have been given on in a chat here. So when you go for creating a window, there's like a usage or a needs or a cost management or a service level agreement. So there are few factors which needs to be considered while creating a subscription here. So I just given that factors also on the chat here. So these are the few points. All of us can just note that. So when you try to create a subscription, hello, am I audible? Am I audible? Team, can you just confirm? Look like there is some platform glitch happen. I hope I'm audible because I can see my internet has been well and good. Um, team, can you just
Yes,
confirm? Yeah,
I can hear you.
yeah,
And also the chat is also saying yes.
yes, chatter. Because the chat, Surag, look like Teams actually not delivering this because I'm not able to see the chat message frequently. So
Mm.
maybe web Teams got some glitch yesterday onwards because it's been delivered in a very. I'm seeing there is some delay in that one because I'm not seeing the response on that. So I hope audio has been clear and all of us are able to see my screen and the chat message also, right?
Yes.
Great. Okay, great. So let me because I just need to put some dot here, then only I'll be able to see this chat message. So look like some issue with the Teams web one. Anyway, I think we are good with that. So right now, team, we have discussed about importance of a subscription inside a cloud Azure infrastructure here. Technically, all of us need to understand at any point of time if you're trying to create any resource or any service on in a Microsoft portal, it's mandatory that you need to have an account to be available. Yesterday we had a discussion about how account is been normally it's been created. We understood like there are different types of the account Microsoft is been supported. Basically, like you have a free account, you have a enterprise account which you are going to get it from your organization. You have a other services like so we were discussing about importance of a subscription. Meeting has been so we understood like the importance of a subscription on in a cloud portal. So we understood like you have a subscription has been available, and with the help of a subscription you can able to manage different billing here. So when you start handling a project or when you start working on in a corporates or any companies, we need to understand subscription is been normally mapped against your infrastructure. It can be production or it's been like staging. So right now on the screen you may be able to see the past sponsorship here, or you may be able to see like trainer is been disabled here, or you can able to see different subscription option. So when it is coming on in a real time scenario, instead of this sponsorship account or instead of this trainer account, you may be able to see subscription details either location based or a department based, or it can be infrastructure based, or depends upon the unique name which have been used for your organization. So whenever you start getting a chance, or in case if you are responsible for creating any VM, you need to have a discussion with your leads or a manager, or some of the organization normally you have a engineering team or architect team will be available. You need to have a word with them. You need to understand under which subscription this needs to be created here. In case if you are not selected a right subscription, billing will be start doing on in a wrong container here. So you need to have a clear clarity. In case if the this detail is not available here, rather than taking your own decision, you need to ensure that you are having a detailed discussion with the respective team which normally responsible for planning or designing this one. So that is an important point all of us need to take care while implementing a VM here. So technically end of the day you need to understand, in case if anyone want to use it any cloud resource here, it's mandatory that you need to have a subscription to be available here. Right now we understood subscription is a mandatory component, or it's one of the core resources been available here. Now right now we understood when you are using a cloud platform, cloud has been working in a kind of a opex model, and we understood like there is a subscription importance we understood. Next one we are discussing about how do we calculate the bill, or how do we calculate the cost. What are the cost management tool currently it's been available on in a portal here, right? So you may be able to see like uh, Microsoft has been working on in a cost or a pay as you go model. So people have always a doubt, how do I calculate my billing, or in case if I need to find out what is the current cost currently I have available on in my infrastructure. Or you may be thinking like I need to analyze my spending, or I need to manage my invoice, or I need to understand the budgeting, or I need to plan my forecasting of my cost. How do I handle that one? So for your understanding, for cost management Microsoft is having a different tools are available here. First tool normally we are using on in a cloud portal, it's called a cost management and billing tool. So you may be having a different tools are available here. So the first tool normally we are using on in a cloud portal, that's called cost management and billing tool. So you may be able to see this cost management tools are available on in a portal. So in case if you connect it on in a Microsoft portal, left side of your screen you may be able to see there is a tool is been available that's called cost management and analyze tool here. So technically cost management and analyze tool, we can say it's like a comprehensive tool. Basically it will give you a spending pattern. It will able to understand how your resources is been utilized on in a cloud portal here. It will try to understand about in case if you want to understand the cost, basically like uh, the cost depends upon like how much budget has been currently available, how resources been utilized here. You may be able to see all your subscription details on the portal here. You may be able to see like you have a portal has been having a subscription details, right? You may be able to see like you have a subscription has been available here. You can able to see the current active status of your resources here. You may be able to see like how many subscription currently it's been available, what is the current cost it's been available here, and you may be able to see like how practically you have a cost has been coming on here. You may be able to see you have a if you connect it on in a portal, you may be able to see like which resources currently it's been utilizing here, whether this has been utilized by your uh, which services. Right now you can able to see graphical representation. Right now it's giving a spending rate. You may be able to see like a production vnet, or you can able to see the details by resource wise. See, if you want to analyze your cost, in case if you want to do a cost analysis, basically we used to use a term called cost analysis. So this give you a detailed insights how the pattern of your spending. You can able to see like spending is by either by the resource wise, or a service wise, or a resource group wise, or you can even able to understand by the subscription wise also. So you can able to see here how the services are being utilized, which service is been consuming more here, which region you have a more cost is been coming or spending is been coming. So based on that you can plan your spending analysis, in case if you want to take any proactive action on in your infrastructure, that you can able to do with the help of cost management or cost analysis tool. So this is giving a complete information, or it's giving a insights, or it's been able to give an opportunity for maybe for admin to do all kind of proactive action for saving your cost analysis. So with the help of that you can able to do a cost analysis management. With the help of that you can able to do a cost insights or a pattern of analysis here. So this will give you complete details, like in case if you want to go for any kind of detailed analysis on the cost side, that you can able to do here. Now on the cost management billing tool, if you open this cost management and billing tool, you can able to see few other tools are also it's been showing here. You can able to see like if you select it on in a cost management, you may be able to see an option for setting your budget and alerts. For example, like you have a multiple departments are available. For example, like you have a students department, or in case if you have a development departments are available. And in case if you want to understand, or in case if you want to set some kind of budget, for example, like I have a development departments are available, I need to set some plan on November month. I'm going to set only $2 lakh for my development one, because you may be seeing like people can able to use a subscription, and people can able to enable the resource on the portal here, right? So based on the consumption we have to pay the money to the vendor here. Now or as an organization I need to set some kind of settings. If anyone has been not using this one, or in case if anyone has been using any details here, you can able to connect it to the portal, where you can able to understand, or where you can able to set the expectation, right? This is like a developments portal, where you can able to see like how the resource has been currently it's been configured, where you can able to see like you have a resources been available, like you may be able to see like you can able to set a budgeting here. For example, like I can able to set my budget so and so department for a so and so month. This is the amount it's been allotted here. So based on your currency you can able to set your alert. Even this can be able to set based on in a subscription base, or even by the resource group. Right, so you can able to set the billing, or so based on that Microsoft will allow you to create the resource here. So this will give a detailed options here. Now, in case if you go back to the portal here, you may have an option of downloading your invoice also. For example, like in case if you are going for any kind of leadership discussion, or in case if you are going for any kind of auditing or any kind of the financial discussion, you can able to download your invoice also. Detail invoice you can able to download it from the portal here. So you may be able to see if you connect it on the portal here, you can able to see the detailed invoice ID here. So the detailed invoice you can able to download it from here. So this will give you a detailed PDF document. This completely giving a information about which service has been currently utilized, or this is a artifacts which can be used for making any kind of detailed investigation or detailed evaluation or auditing of your resource. So you have an option of downloading the invoice of your organization also. You have a organization has been available where you can able to do um, download your budget. Even you can able to see you have an option of setting your alerts also. For example, like in case if the alert has been going on in a particular threshold, you can able to send a notification. For example, like you set a alert for a subscription. In case if something is going beyond your threshold value, immediately you can set an alert saying that to administrator, hey admin, so and so subscription, it's been overshooting the budget, so please take a necessary action. So you can able to give your group ID, or you can able to set your alerts or a rule. So this will be proactively, it will inform the user also. So cost management and billing is one of the monitoring or finance tool or a cost management tool normally we are using on in Azure, which will help us to calculate the current or the recurring cost currently it's been happening on in your system. So with the help of that, you can able to do all the billing here. So the cost management is the one tool normally we are using here. Another tool which you are using on in a uh, even you can able to see there is a recommendation also. Okay, you may be able to see like a advisor recommendation. This will give you a free advice to us in case if there is any leakage of your revenue, or in case if there is a leakage of your finance part. That details you can able to get it here, like if there is any extra cost is been covering here. So this will give you input saying that hey admin, these are the one service is been consuming more, and it will give you advice saying that these are the option is been available, which will help us to do all kind of modification here. So you may be able to use the configuration here, which will help you to manage your information here. So that's the way normally the configuration is been done on in a cloud portal here. So that's the way normally the cloud configuration has been doing it on in a Microsoft portal here. So that's the way normally the cloud solution has been happening on in a um, that's the way normally the cloud transaction has been doing on in a cost management side on in Azure side. Now you can able to see we have another management tools also available on in a Microsoft portal here. One another tool normally we are using, it's called Microsoft Azure pricing calculator. You have another online tool has been available, which has been available on in a Microsoft portal. This will help us to do a service selection, or this tool will help you to understand the estimate code for your solution here. It's called Azure pricing calculator, right now if you can be able to connect it on in a Microsoft portal, if you connect it on in a pricing calculator, this will give you help us to do a estimate of your cost here. For example, like Robin has been trying to move your solution from a on-premises to cloud. I need to identify what will be the cost is been coming here. I need to estimate the cost, and I need to inform my client before deploying or before configuring here. So I need to have a word with my client saying that this is the estimated cost which you can able to expect for a month or a year. So in case if you are planning for any kind of configuration, you can able to do a service selection. For example, like you have a lot of tools or a product details you can able to see it here. So in case if I need to calculate here, I can able to add the details here. For example, like I need to calculate the estimate for couple of VMs here. I'm saying like I need to have a VM is being needed here. So you can able to see this has been added to my car. For example, like I can select a different uh, product here. I'm saying like I need to have a virtual network, I need to have a DNS is needed, I'm looking for a firewall. So I can add all this information on in a cart, and you can able to select what type of configuration you are looking here, what is type of the operating system you are looking here. So I'm saying like a Windows operating system basic model, and trying to create it on in a east to west location. How many machine I need? I need a 5 computers. How many hours I need? I can just give all these details here, and finally this will come with a estimated cost. In case if I'm on to run this solution on in a Microsoft portal, what will be the estimated price or its been cost is been coming. You can able to set your own currency also here. You may be able to see like you have a drop down box you are getting here, where you can able to set your own currency here, depends upon which region or geography you have been connected, and you have an option for downloading or exporting the cost also. This will help us to calculate your details, or this will help us to download this artifacts. In case if you are going for any kind of project discussion or a call, then you can able to go for details here. You may be able to see like you have an option has been available. You may be able to see like where you can able to write all these details, and which will help us to post it on in a portal, or it can you can able to go for any details here. So you may be able to see like this is a tool normally you can able to use, which will help us to calculate here. Any questions from so far from anyone? So basically the pricing calculator, it's an online tool which will help us to do a service selection, which will help us to do a custom configuration, and it can able to understand cost comparison on the tool, and which will help us to calculate the cost also. Now let me give you a few lecture note which for the cost management tool which you have been discussed here. So this is the first lecture note for the details here. So you may be able to see like I just pasted a cost management lecture note. Let me give a Azure pricing calculator note also. I just pasted both the lecture note on the chat window here. Now we understood like you have a pricing calculator is the one tool. Normally it's been supported here, and you have a cost management tool also. Another tool which you can able to use for a cost management, it's called advisor tool. On in a Microsoft portal, on the left side of your resource panel, you may be able to see there is a tool you can able to see, or option you can able to see on in a portal, something called as advisor. All of us may be able to understand from the name itself, like it's basically giving a advice to us, right? You may be able to see like on in a 5 parameters, it's basically giving a advice for us. One, it's about in a cost side. Second one, it's been like a security side, or in a reliability side, or in a operational side, and you can able to see on in a performance side and operational excellence also. Technically, it's been giving 5 type of advices here. We don't need to pay anything to Microsoft. It's giving a free advice. On in a portal, you may be able to see there is a advices score, and you may be able to see advices are given on in a red color, or in a yellow color, or in a green color also. You may be able to see like a detailed description, right? So it's giving a advice to us. Hey admin, you tried finally you created Azure disk, and there is some problem you have, and this is the potential benefit, and this is the way normally this has to be created here. If you click it here, this will give you a detailed recommendation from Microsoft. So once for subscription, you have to convert into SRS disk, or it's giving a recommended action in case if there is any problem with your security side, or in case if there is an issue with your network, or in case if there is an issue with your whatever resources has been currently it's been configured here. Microsoft will give you free advice with a recommendation actions here. In case if you're searching on in the internet, if you can able to see some of the uh, detailed graph also, how practically it's been given here. Right now you may be able to see normally this has been going to give you advice like this. See, right now you can able to see it's been a recommendation. Normally it's been given on in a format here. Right now you may be able to see you will be getting a recommendation like this. See, recommendation high impact. It's using a different color combination here. So you can able to see on the right now on the screen, on the security side, it's given a 54 recommendation by the Microsoft. On the reliability side, it's given a 7 recommendation. On in the cost side, you may be able to see it's given a 8 recommendation here. So Microsoft Azure Advisor, it's basically a online tool. It's giving a free advice to us. What is the purpose of this one? This basically using for a better performance, or it's the recommendation has been helping us to optimize your resources here. That may be the right word. It's like basically using for giving a better performance for your security or a reliability or a cost efficiency side. You can able to use this one. So basically it's a free service, and with the help of that you can able to manage, or you can able to optimize your Azure resources. Currently it's been configured on in your portal here. On the chat I've been just given a few lecture note related to that. Let me paste some of the key features also which you are going to get it with the help of this. So you may be able to see these are the key features you are getting here. So you may be able to see these are the key features. Normally you can able to see it on in a cloud portal here. So these are the key features you are going to get it on in a portal here. So with the help of that you can able to, you are getting a free advice. With the help of that you can able to manage your resources on in a cloud portal, and with the help of that you can able to configure any kind of advice or optimization can be able to done on in a cloud portal here. That's the way normally the cost tool is been working on in a cloud portal here. Now, right now we understood like you have a Azure advisor has been available, and you have a pricing calculator has been available, and you have a cost management tools also it's been supported on in a cloud portal here. Now, currently on in a portal, you can able to see there is a one more tool you can able to see it on in a cloud here. That's called Microsoft Azure TCO. That's called Total Cost Ownership Tool here. You may be seeing like most of the organization, they may be already using a on-premises infrastructure, and they are trying to upgrade into a cloud infrastructure here. So one of the common question all of us are going to get it from a all of us are going to get it from a customer. It's going to that, in case if you want to upgrade into a cloud, what is the benefit I'm going to get it here? In case I'm already have a resources been available on in a on premises, customer may be asking, in case if I'm migrating this resource on into a cloud, what is the benefit I'm going to get here? So most of the time we may have to do a cost analysis or against your workload which has been currently available on in a on premises one. So Microsoft total cost ownership tool, which will help us to do a total cost calculation here. Basically this will do a comparison for your Microsoft workload for the 5 years or a 7 years. It will give a detailed comparison chart for us. So this will, if anything has been going wrong, this will completely give you a recommendation here. And this is the workload comparison, like for example, like if there is any specific tool which will give you a detailed comparison against your workload which has been currently available on in a portal against with a cloud one. So you can able to use a total cost calculator tool also, which will help us for calculating a TCO here. So there's one of the tool normally we are using on in a cloud ecosystem for calculating a on premises versus a cloud load here. So right now we understood when it is coming on in a cloud infrastructure, you have a cost management tools are available, and you understood like you have a pricing calculator tools are available, and you have a advisor tool has been available, and you have a TCO tool also available. So these are the tool normally we are using on in a cloud infrastructure, which will give you for a detailed cost analysis for your Microsoft Azure. Any questions from anyone? Any questions or any doubt? Are we good? If you're good, can you comment it on in a chat? Any questions? No question. Everything has been fine. I can see there's a yes. So let's take a 5 minutes break, and we'll be starting about support plans and a VM creation here. Let's take a 5 minutes break, and we'll be moving on into the next topic here. Now we are just thought of keeping 5 minutes, and it's been not allowing me to set 5 minutes. So let me reset this one. Timer. Let me take a timer here. Yes, we have a timer is here. Let's put 5 minutes. Save. Yes. Great. So we're done. I hope all are back. We had took a quick refreshment break after an hour. I hope all are back. I request you to confirm through the chat option in case if you're back, or it's request you to confirm through the chat option. Great. I can see there is a one question by Nori on in the chat. Which position in IT organization that usually use this tool here? Nori, it's like when it is coming on in a real-time scenario, it's been handled by a team. Normally, it's been responsible for the project implementation team. That's all depends upon Nori. What is the size or complexity of your organization? In case if you are working on in a small startup organization, all this task has to be handled by us. Some of the complex organization where large number of the asset or infrastructure is been managed, that kind of a situation we have a dedicated teams are available, basically known as architect team or engineering team. This kind of teams are available. Normally they are responsible for managing this one. So whoever is been responsible for the account management, or whoever is been responsible for designing or a planning, a respective team will be taking care of this management of the cost here. They will analysis what is the cost is been coming on in each resource. They will make a cost management plan. They will have a dedicated plan or estimated plan how much money the organization has to put for implementing the solution in a monthly or in a yearly, or they may be having a forecast plan also available. So we cannot say a specific team here. That completely depends upon the complexity of your infrastructure here. Now I can see there is another message also on the chat. Muhammad Islam has been asking how the money is being added to the account here. Muhammad Islam, there is no amount or money is being added to your account normally on in a pay as you go model. Yesterday we have seen like while creating an account, there is an account is been created, and today you have seen like a subscription also is been created. Only for free account or a student's account, there is a $200 or $100 is been added to the bucket. That's only for the free trial. But when it is coming on in a real time or in a production scenario, technically your card or the payment method has been mapped. So you don't need to have any additional money into that, because that will link with your card or the payment method. It's been given here. So when it is coming on in a organization point of view, you will have a account managers will be available. So they will have a dedicated channel has been available for the payment, or it's like the finance management here. So that's the way normally it's been like a solution has been available here, where you can able to see like you can able to connect it on in a portal here. So that's the way normally the it's been added on in a normal scenario here. When it is coming on into support plan, right now we have seen how billing is been coming. We have seen how resources has been placed on in a portal here. Next one we are discussing about how do we manage your support plan. For example, like if there is a issue has been happened on in your system, it can be technical issue, or it can be billing related issue, or it can be invoice, or it's been like you may be able to see some kind of uh, finance or the payment or invoice related issue. So how do we reach out to Microsoft here? So there are different Microsoft support options are available here. So you may be able to use a two option. One is been like you can able to reach out to Microsoft premium number in case if you are need any support. For example, like you are created a VM on in a Microsoft portal here. In case if you want to have any kind of support, technical support is needed. For example, like your computer is been down or your server is been down, and you are not in a position to resolve that issue here. So such kind of a situation, you can able to reach out to Microsoft. Microsoft SME or Microsoft team will help you to resolve your issues here. So there are two ways normally we used to do here. One it's been like you can connect to Microsoft Premium number, premium phone number you can able to see here, which you can able to get it from an internet, or you can able to connect to Microsoft support team. So you can able to connect directly. You can just search it on in a Google. You can just type Microsoft Premium number. You will be getting a toll free number. You can reach out to Microsoft directly or a phone. That is the first method. Or second method, you may be able to see on an Azure portal, right side top, you may be able to see there is a question mark, right? You may be able to see right side top, there is a question mark you can able to see here. You can able to click on this tool. This will be taking you to another window there you can able to see like a help and support here, right? You may be able to see there is an option you are getting something called a help and support. The moment when you click on this help and support option, you can able to see help and support window is been opening, where you have option for creating a support request here. You can able to see you can able to create a ticket. So this will be assigned to Microsoft pool, and Microsoft will be responding to your ticket here. You may be able to see how we created a ticket here, and you can able to see current status of this ticket is been closed here, right? On the bottom, you can able to see reason support request, right? Right now, you may be able to see I have been created a ticket and it's been closed by Microsoft here. So this is one option. You can able to click on the question mark, and this will be taken to help and support page here. Or another option, on the left side of your panel, you may be able to see there is an option you can able to see something called as help and support here. You may be able to see there is a help and support window. You can able to see there is a one person, it's wearing a headphone and sitting. You can able to click on this option also. The moment when you click on the help and support window, this will allow to create a ticket here. You can able to click on this new support request. This will give you a detailed description option, where you can getting a flexibility to select a different type of the issues here. You can able to see like uh, you may be able to see like different category of the issues. You can able to see it here, right? You may be able to see billing or a subscription or technical or non-technical. You can able to see there are different type of the issues you can able to see it on in the portal here. Right now you can able to see we have a option is getting here, right? For example, like I have a billing issue. I can just give this which subscription I'm facing the issue. I can able to create a ticket here. See, I can just give a details here. For example, like it's a test problem type. It's been like I have a right now this different question is been loading here, so we may have to wait for a minute here. Right now this has been loading on in the portal. Right now it's been loading here. Yes, right now you may be able to see like pricing tab here. So I can just give the problem type, help me to validate my discount, and I can able to see like a recommended solution from Microsoft, and additional details on all the details you can able to see here. Let's wait for a minute. Right now you may be able to see like some recommendation Microsoft is being given here. Now, in case if you're going for any creation here, you can able to see like support details, right? When this issue has been occurred, you can able to provide some artifacts or details which will help Microsoft to resolve this issue here. In case if you have any screenshot or any problem related details, you can able to give it here. You may be notice here there is one more information is been available here, something called as support plan here. Right now you may be able to see it's called C. Right now you may be seeing like severity has been given as C here. So technically, how Microsoft is been responding to your request, or it's like a ticket, depends upon what is the plan you have been opted here. Right now, if you click on this support plan, you may be able to see four plan. Right now it's been displayed here. One it's been like called as a basic plan and developer plan, standard plan, professional direct one. So how fast Microsoft has to respond to your query, or how fast this has to be responded or handle your ticket, it completely depends upon what is the support plan you have been purchased or you have been opted here. Right now on the screen, you may be able to see there is a four plan you can able to see. Right now you may be able to see there is a green tick mark you can able to see here. That means my account currently it's got a developer plan here. And you may be able to see the scope also here, right? Right now you may be able to see there are different scope is been currently it's been showing here. So in case if your plan is been on in a basic plan or in a developer plan, you are not going to get a dedicated engineer support or uh, senior SME support from the Microsoft here. You will be getting a free access on in a Microsoft document, and don't expect that you have a resources been available, and technically you may be able to see like you are not going to get any incident manager or a critical manager is been joining on the code. Technically this has been handled by the document ways here. In case if you need to have a dedicated resource to be available for helping you, you have to change or technically you have to upgrade your plan. You may be able to see there is a option you are getting something called as upgrade, right? You may be able to see there is an option you can able to see something called as upgrade here. So technically you have to upgrade your plan to standard or professional direct here. You may be able to see in case if you are upgrading your plan to professional or a direct here, or when you're working on in a large organization, you may be able to see there is a one more option is been showing there. There's something called as premium plan here. You may be able to see there is another option you can able to see something called as premium plan. So premium plan is normally it's like a enterprise level. The plan is being provided where you are going to get a highest priority of the support. So that kind of a situation you can able to go for the premium plan. By default, if you create an account your own, you will not be able to see a premium account. That's basically like a enterprise or a corporate ID is normally you have a premium account option you are getting here. You may be able to see like you have a option is been available in case if you are connected as a standard or a professional direct plan. It depends upon which plan you are selecting. It's giving a indication what is the criticality of this one. So you may be able to see like if you are selected a professional direct plan within a 1 hour, this will be converted as a severity A, and resource will be joined from Microsoft, and they will help us for resolving the issue here. You may be able to see in case if you're going for a upgrade plans like a professional or a standard plan, we may have to pay some money to Microsoft also. You may be able to see there is a cost is been associated to that. So in case you need to have a dedicated support here, you may be able to add it, or it's like in case if you want to get additional support, we may have to pay the money to Microsoft. That's the way normally the support is been working on in a cloud infrastructure. So you need to have a resource to be available here. With the help of that, you can able to manage this details here. So in case if you want to go for any additional support, you need to go for any additional resource configuration here. So this basically like you may be able to see like support is been actually it's a paid support here. So that's a important point you maybe have to remember here. So any questions from anyone? Any other questions from anyone? I'm not seeing any questions from anyone here. Let me pose it here for any questions so far. Have what is the standard SLA for the technical support will response? Uh, you may be able to see Muhammad. It's been technically depends upon what is the support plan you have been opted here. Right now, you may be able to see within a 1 hour. That's for the severity A here. Now each resource it's got its own SLA also. You can able to see here Microsoft, if you are referring on in a portal, you can just type it Azure SLA here. You may be able to see like service level agreement for each and every component that's been supported here. So this is the page or this is the link you can able to refer for the complete SLA agreement with the Microsoft here. In case if Microsoft is been not able to meet this SLA commitment, they will be giving you a service credit point here. I just pasted a link on that. Even if you want to identify the SLA uh, details for each and every services, you can type the resource name. For example, like you want to find out Azure VM SLA here, you can just go to Google and just type Azure VM SLA. You may be able to see the SLA details for the respective missions here. You can just click on the details here. This will give you the SLA terms or the agreement on the BMK. So each and every resource you will be able to download it from here. So technically, answering to your question, Mohammed, it's completely depends upon what is the support plan you have been opted, and you can able to get the legal or the subscription or the SLA information of the respective resource also. I hope it's been clear to everyone here. Now, right now we understood how billing has been done. We understood like SLA part. We understood like how to create a ticket on in a Microsoft portal here. Now, next we are going to discuss about how do we create a server on in a Microsoft portal here. So far we have been discussed about few facility management or monitoring tool here. Right now we are going to discuss about how do we create a VM on in a Microsoft portal here. All of us maybe already installed a lot of servers, or you may be already managing a servers on in a existing infrastructure here. Right now we are going to discuss how do we manage similar kind of auctions on in a cloud scenario here. You may be able to see like you have a server is been available here. For example, like if you connect it on in a Microsoft portal here, let me come to a comparison on in a on-premises versus a cloud here. For example, like if you take a on-premises model, you have a on-premises model is been available here. So you have a on-premises model is been available. On in a on-premises model, all of us may be already aware that we are taking a physical server. It can be Cisco or HP or a Dell or HCL or a IBM. There are different physical box we will be getting. There are two ways normally we used to install the server on in a on-premises scenario. One, you will be taking using a DVD or a CD in olden days, or you may be mounting ISO image and you are installing a operating system. For example, like in case if you are installing Windows Server 2019, on top of the bare metal, you will install a operating system. On top of that, your application will be installed. It can be any application, depends upon the customer requirement. And top of that, your data is been coming. So this is the one method. Normally, we all of us used to use it on in a on-premises scenario. The second method, all of us may be used. It depends upon, or in case if you want to do a better utilization of your resource, you may be taken another approach, right? You may be taken a physical server. On top of that, you may be installed a hypervisor, right? You may be heard about a tool called hypervisor, and top of that, you are installing a operating system, and basically like you may be creating a multiple virtual machines here. So this is the another approach normally we are doing on in a on-premises scenario. In a on-premises scenario, there are two ways we used to connect it here. For example, like I am an engineer or I am a subject matter expert. In case if I want to manage the server, I can go directly into a data center and I can connect my laptop and I can able to manage. server directly, or you may be seeing like if the server has been connected to the same network using a RDP or connecting to DRAC ILO or HP DRAC console or ILO console remotely or in the through the same network I can able to manage here. So all of us are already aware that when you are using a on-premises solution, the entire infrastructure has been placed or hosted inside your own infrastructure here. So it's been not available or it's been not configured on in a other location here, right? Technically, this has been present inside my own infrastructure here. That's the way normally the configuration has been done here. Now, coming on into cloud scenario, how practically this has been managed here. So what is the option is being currently available? You may be able to see like technically you may be seeing like when it is coming on in a cloud scenario, your infrastructure is being hosted not in your own premises here. Instead of that, you may be seeing like this has been available in a cloud service provider data center. So this can be on in a different region, right? It can be on US region or in a you may be able to see another word called region here, right? So region is nothing. It's a physical data centers, right? Right now, this has been available on in a on premises here. Now, when it is coming on in a Microsoft portal, you may be able to see like you have a option is been available. For example, like when it is coming on in a Microsoft data center, you may be seeing like Microsoft is having physical data center across the globe here. For example, like if you type it on in a Microsoft Azure region, you may be able to see Microsoft is having right now on the map. If you are taking this exploring this global map here, these are the locations Microsoft is having a data centers, right? If you click on this screen here, right now it's been explore the globe. I'm just opening this one. It will take a few minutes. So right now this has been loading Microsoft physical data center across the globe here. So let's wait for a minute. Right now this has been loading. Right now this has been loading here. Let's wait for a minute. Right now you can able to see like explore globe. Right now this has been giving you all the transaction it's been available on into a Microsoft here, right? Right now you may be able to see like you have a resource has been available where you can able to see like different configuration has been supported on in a Microsoft portal here. See, right now you can able to see all these locations Microsoft is having a physical data center here. So in case if you're seeing a word called region, for example, like when you try to create any resource on in a Microsoft portal, you will be getting a message here asking which location this has to be created here. Right now you can able to see there is a option on in a portal here. It's asking, hey admin, which data center this has to be created here. See, Microsoft is having 56 regions. Microsoft having a data center, 140 plus location they're having a data center has been available. So if you're seeing a word called region, it's basically uh, we can say it's a physical data center available on in a Microsoft, basically like where your resources been hosted or it's a information about the physical data center here. So Azure region is nothing. It's a physical data center of Microsoft here. Now, one more important point you may be able to see here. If you select any region here, each country has got a different price tag also. You may be able to see. Let me try to create a details here. I'm just trying to create a server here. Don't worry about this option. I'll discuss one by one. So you may be able to see when you create a region here, each region is got a different price tag here. Right now you can able to see I have been selected a data center is East US data center, and I have selected an operating system of Windows Server 2016. Right now I have been selected. I want to create a server one in a East US data center of Microsoft. I want to create Windows Server 2016 operating system. And you may be able to see there is a price information is been showing on in the portal. Right now I have been connected from India. So it's been giving a message saying that 2,800 rupees, 43 rupees is been the price for this server here. You may be able to see if in case if I'm changing the data center, for example, like if I've been selected an option of Australia East, you may be able to see the price is got again changes. See, 2000 is got changed to 3,000 rupees here. So this something like you are having a pizza from Philippines. Same pizza, if you're trying to have it from a Dubai, you are going to get a different price, right? Same thing here also. When you start handling a resource here, each country has got a different price information. So what I'm trying to say that at any point of time, if you start handling any product on in a Microsoft portal, it's basically like each country has got a different price tag. So don't think that the same product got a same price tag on all the region. No, each country has got a different price. So you need to understand that. So each country has got a different price tag on in a Microsoft yet. So you cannot have a same price has been available on in a all the region. Each country has got a different price tag here. So that is the way normally the price is been configured on in a Microsoft portal here. So that's the way normally the price is been available on in a cloud portal here. So you need to have a different price or a different options are available, and technically each same product is got a different price tag or a pricing on in a different country here. So that is an important point all of us need to remember here. So that's the way normally the price is been coming on in a cloud portal here. So that's an important point all of us need to remember here. Now that's about the pricing tab here. So technically you are going to get a different price tab option is been available, where you can able to see there are different resource or details you can able to see here, where you can able to see there are different prices been coming for the same product on in a different regions here. So right now we are going to discuss how do we enable a VM on in a Microsoft portal here. Now let me ask you a question. In case if you want to install a server on in a on-premises scenario, what are the information normally you will be collecting here? For example, like you are in a customer place, customer is saying like, hey Robin, you need to install a server, or it's saying like, hey Himran, you are responsible for installing a server, or Muhammad, tell me what are the information you want to needed for installing a server here. So normally, what are the information which you are going to collect it from a customer here? You are in a customer place or in a data center or a data room, and you are responsible for installing a server here. So what are the information you are going to collect it from a customer here? Can you comment it on in a chat? I can see there is a option like where is the cheapest region. We need to review that information, so you may have to refer Microsoft document. You may have to. I cannot say that this region is always got a cheap cost. That we need to refer the Microsoft page or a pricing calculator. With the help of that only, you can able to remember here. So in case if you are in a customer place and you are responsible for managing a server here, so what are the information you're going to collect it from a customer here? I'm talking about in a existing data center or in a data room. So let's wait for that. Waiting for information from members, so I can able to see like Nori has been commented like we need to ask the customer about server specification, which OS version the customer is needed, and location is not mandatory on in on premises, right? Because in on premises scenario, we are using our own data center, so location is been not mandatory here. Now, when it is coming on in a cloud scenario here, we will try to understand how practically this has been configured here. What are the information it's been available on in a portal here? You may be able to see like you may be able to see like you have a resources been available on in a cloud portal. You may be able to see like how practically this is like configured on in a uh, Azure scenario here. Now, when it is coming on in a Azure scenario, you may be able to see there are few information we need to collect it here. So first of all, you need to collect, for example, like you are in a customer place and you are responsible for configuring Azure VM. You need to collect few informations here. One information, you have to collect it. You need to understand about details about information like what is the type of the operating system you want. Similar like your on-premises one. So Microsoft, few people having a perception Microsoft is been going to support only Microsoft operating system. No, Microsoft will support Windows operating system. It will support Linux operating system. It support Unix operating system also. But important point you need to understand, Microsoft Azure will going to support only 64-bit operating system only. There is no concept of 32-bit here. Whatever VM or a server which you are going to place it on in a Microsoft portal, it's going to support only 64-bit operating system. So while creating a VM, I'll show you how normally this has been configured here. You may be able to see like there are different ways you can able to follow here. One option, you can visit marketplace. You can just type marketplace. Marketplace is giving a details information, depends upon the customer requirement. You can able to type the operating system here. I'm just typing like a Linux here. This will give you Linux operating system details. It's been loading here. We need to wait for a minute here. Right now you can able to see it's been right now you may be able to see like all the Linux operating system details. You can able to see it on in a cloud portal here. Right now you may be able to see Linux if you're typing, or the Linux operating system you can able to get it from here. In case if you're typing Unix, you can able to see all the Unix operating system here. So technically all your images are by default it's been available on in the Microsoft portal itself. You don't need to use any ISO image, or you don't need to use any DVD drive or a CD drive kind of concept here. You may be seeing like in a existing scenario, you may be used your own ISO image while creating a VM, right? But when it is coming on in a real-time marketplace scenario or in a Azure scenario, there is no option of customizing or uploading your own ISO image. By default, all these images are available on in the Microsoft portal itself. So the first information you need to ask your customer which operating system the customer has been looking here. Second one, it's been like you need to have a details about subscription. When it is coming on in a real time scenario, you may be having a different subscription may be aligned. For example, like a production or you have an option of a geographical base or a department base or billing base. Customer may be having a different subscription may be available. So you need to get a details from a customer under which subscription this has to be mounted here. Right now you can able to see the moment when you start creating a virtual machine. On the left side you may be able to see there is an option you are getting something called as virtual machine. So the moment when you click on the virtual machine tab, it's been taking to a virtual machine window here. So right now you may be able to see right now there is no virtual machine. It's been configured here. So right now you can able to see there is no virtual machine. It's been currently configured here. Surag, I'm audible. Am I audible?
Yes.
In between, look like there is a network glitch happen, right? Are you able to see
The
my?
some issue. I can still see your screen as well.
You can see that one, okay, right? Because in my secondary monitor, I can see there is a it's been request timeout and it's been start connecting here. So, but in the primary monitor, I was able to speak also. Anyway, let's come back. So, so I just can you confirm you are able to see the virtual machine window or a Azure portal window on the screen here?
Yes.
Yes, thank you, thank you. So you may be able to see right now we are discussing about how do we create virtual machine on in a cloud infrastructure. Right now I have selected an option called virtual machine. At the moment when I selected option called virtual machine, right now we are getting a message on in a screen. It's saying that hey Robin, currently there is no virtual machine has been present on in the system to give it display here. So technically there is no virtual machine has been created here. Right now we are going to see how do we create a virtual machine on in a customer place. So I'm selecting an option called create a virtual machine. So this taking to another window. Right now this been giving a few information here, and you may be able to see there are few tabs you can able to see here. We'll discuss one by one. Okay, let's create a simple virtual machine first, then we'll go for a detailed discussion about disk or networking or management. You may be able to see a lot of tabs are being showing on in this portal here. Right now you may be able to see basic or a monitoring or advanced tags or review. There are few options you are able to see here. Nothing to worry about that. We'll go one by one here. Now, whenever you try to create a virtual machine here, first of all, you need to select the basic tab here. Now, the first message you are getting here, it's giving a message here. Hey, admin, please provide details about the subscription here. So we already had a discussion about importance of a subscription here, right? So depends upon your organization, depends upon how do you want to do a billing. You can able to select it from the options here. Right now, I have only one subscription has been available, so I have selected the existing subscription. Currently, it's been active on in my portal here. Don't need to worry about resource group. I'll come back to the spot portion in a later stage. I'm just typing a name. I just given a logical container name here. This is for my production network here. Now, when you go for giving a virtual machine name, always we need to follow some pattern here rather than giving a name like a Muhammad computer or Suraj computer or Riyadh computer here or Alexander computer here. You need to give a unique name here. Hey Suraj, again it's been got disabled. Hello, hello, am I audible?
No, I was
You are able to see this one,
able
right?
to see it.
Okay, then I think it's a problem with my secondary
Yes,
laptop.
I can see the
You can able
screen
to see
share
my virtual machine. Yeah, virtual
right
machine also.
now.
So yeah, so I think then it's maybe a problem with
It
my backup device.
was in the or before you ask the question.
Yeah, I think then it's a problem with my laptop, second backup laptop. So right now we are trying to discuss about how do we enable a virtual machine on in a cloud infrastructure here. Let me give you some information related to that. Let me open one slide related to that so that will give you some insight about in a better understanding here. Give me a second. Let me open a module on in a compute. So when you give a cloud computing details, so you can able to follow this pattern here. Let me open a compute. Yes. Let me open one slide here. I'll give you this slide. Okay. Don't no need to worry about that. So right now on the screen, yeah. Oh, sorry. By mistake, I've been type closed here. So supposed to be open instead of that. I just can close here. Right now we are discussing about how do we give name for a VM here. Now, can able to see I can. Oh, it's been getting a what happened to my slide? Just give me a second. It's like some product key validation has been coming. Done. Right now on the screen, you may be able to see like how to give name of your VM. You may be able to see there is a pattern has been given here, right? You may be able to see first few letters. You can able to use it for which infrastructure it belongs to. Because when you start handling on in your real-time project, your infrastructure may be part of your production network, or it can be part of your development network, or you can be able to see like you may be able to see like you have a uh, quality or it's like a testing or a lab kind of you have an option is been available, right? So that's the way normally the first few letter can be used here, and it can be followed by which data center you are going to place it here, and it can be followed by the instance or what is the type of the role currently it's been configured here. So technically what I'm trying to say here is when you start creating a VM on in a cloud portal, always ensure that you are configuring a unique name for your organization. So right now on the screen, whatever name I have been given, it's been given based on some pattern which I have been followed on in a real-time scenario. Right now on the screen, I just given some example here. You may be able to see in a pink color. I given a detailed or a one server name here, right? You may be able to see like if you are seeing a DEV, you may be able to identify this server has been belong to development department, and this has been configured in a US central location. It's been configured with a web server, and it's been configured with a VM. So that is the way normally the server has been configured here, right? So what I'm trying to say here is when you start creating on in a cloud infrastructure, technically this has been configured in such a way that always the administrator will give a unique name. So technically, if anyone has been seeing a server name, easily they will be able to identify where exactly the server has been configured here. You may be able to identify where exactly the server is be belongs to. Is it belongs to uh, development background or which data center it's been configured here. So technically, all of us need to remember when you go for any kind of configuration, we need to ensure that you are giving a unique name. So each organization will have their own pattern, or they will be using their own agenda or their own unique uh, standard practice for naming a given a unique name for the resources here. So rather than using Alexander name or Amal name or Muhammad name or Rutrija name, ensure that you are giving a right unique name aligning to the customer requirement. Because once your VM is being created, changing of a VM, it's going to be a tough job for us. So always recommended to use a unique name for us. Now let's connect to the portal here. So you need to ensure that you are giving a unique name here. That's an important point. all of us need to follow here. So that's the way normally the configuration has been handled on in a cloud portal here. Now, when it is coming on in a cloud portal here, other option which you are going to get it like you are going to get a different price tag here. Right now, I'm just not following any unique name here. I'm just giving a simple name server one here. Now, next one, it's been like which location your server is needs to be created here. Uh, the best practice normally people or organization will be using whenever you create a server or any resource, we need to ensure that this has been kept near to my user here. You may be having a users from Philippines. In case if you have all the users from Philippines, there is no point of keeping your server in South Africa. Or in case if you are from India, there is no point of keeping your server in UK, because you may be heard about a feature, or you may be heard about a concern from a market saying that latency issue, right? You may be able to see, like you have a resources been available, where you can able to see like you have a resources been available technically, like resources been available, ensuring that you are placing your server near to your region here. So that means like avoiding a latency. You may be able to see like for avoiding a latency, always we need to ensure that you are placing your server near to your region or near to your customer place here. You may be able to see you have a resources been available. One important point you need to already understood here, it's similar like your pizza, the same pizza which you are having from Philippines and the same pizza if you are having from a Dubai or UK, you are getting a different price here. Same thing for Microsoft resource also here. In case if you're changing your data center or a region or a Microsoft Azure region, each data center is got a different price or a cost for the same resource here. You may be able to see like a same product, it's got a different price tag here. So that's an important point all of us need to remember here. You may be able to see like you have a resource has been available here. You may be having a different price tag is been available here. No need to worry about availability option or a security option. This will be discussing on day after tomorrow on a high availability session. So this basically this option is using availability option. You maybe already heard about term called clustering, or you maybe heard about word about availability, right? Availability is nothing. In case if the server is been down, how fast you can able to provide an alternate solution. How fast you can able to ensure that your service is been available to your customer. You may be able to imagine, for example, like 1 hour your Instagram is been not working, or 1 hour your Facebook is been not working, or LinkedIn is been not working. That is got a lot of business impact or a finance implication on your organization, right? I'm not talking about Instagram or a Facebook. I'm talking about in a client perspective. If the client is got an application or a server, if the server is been not available for 1 hour or 2 hour, that's going to make a lot of business implications or impact inside a organization. So always, as a cloud admin, or you maybe already practice on in your on premises also, you have a some kind of fault redundancy mechanism or tolerance mechanism will be available, that will ensure that if the server is been down, you will have alternate mechanism is been available, which will ensure that you have an alternate mechanism is been available to provide a service to your solution here. So you have an availability mechanism has been available that will ensure that if something goes wrong, you will have a resource has been available, and based on that your resource has been supported here. That's the way configuration has been configured on in a cloud infrastructure here. So that's the way normally it's been configuration has been happened, or it's been like configured on in a cloud infrastructure here. So that's important point you need to remember on in a cloud portal here. So that's important point you may be able to see like in a cloud portal here. So that's an important point all of us need to. That's an important point all of us need to remember on in a cloud infrastructure here. Now, right now we are not discussing about how availability or security has been configured here. We'll discuss in on in another module how availability can be configured on in a cloud infrastructure here. So that's important point. All of us need to remember on in a cloud infrastructure here. So you may be able to see how fast we can able to configure or how fast this can be able to configure it on in a cloud infrastructure here. Now coming on into cloud infrastructure, you have a server is been available where you can able to see like you have a security mechanism is been available. You can able to see like you have a security type is given and image is been already available here. So depends upon customer requirement. You can able to select the right image here. For example, like I've been selected like a 2019 year. I can able to select the right image. You may be seeing like it's been supporting 64-bit CPU architecture. You may be able to see like a 64 architecture has been supported here. Now I'm selecting that. Now size is something you can able to see the configurations here. Right now you may be able to see it depends upon the customer requirement. Microsoft is been categorized size in a different options here. You can able to see like it's been configured as D series or a B series or A series here. You may be able to see which situation this has to be used also. You can able to see on in a page. I just given on in a sheet also. You may be able to see like the VM size. Yes, type of the VM. Right now you may be able to see. You can able to see it's been classified as a series or a B series or a D series. Right side you can able to see on which situation this can be used here. For example, like I have some customer where we need to focus more on the IO operation. So I need to have some configuration with a high-end storage skill set, right? So similar way, when you start working on in a cloud portal, you can able to see like you can able to select a right skill set where you can able to see like you have a series or a B series or a D series or E series. You may be able to see like you have a right solution you can able to see here. So it's similar like your Apple iPhone. When you go for purchasing Apple iPhone, you may be able to see Apple iPhone is got a different category, right? You may be able to see like you have seen like Apple iPhone Pro, you may be seeing like, or you may be seeing like a Pro Max, right? So depends upon configuration. It's been supported on each model. It's been coming on in a different price tag here. So similar way here also, you can able to see there are different configuration has been supported. It can be respective of RAM or a CPU or a disk, or depends upon how IO operation has been happening. You may be able to select the right tab here. You may be able to see the right configuration. You can able to select it here. You may be able to see the right configuration has been supported on in a portal here. So D series or E series or F series, right configuration you can able to select it on in a portal here. So with the help of that, you can able to select the right configuration on in the portal here. So you have a D series or E series or a right configuration, you can able to select it on in a portal here. So one important point you need to remember here, it depends upon what is the configuration you are selecting here. Your pricing or cost is going to be changed here. The similar like your laptop. For example, like if you configured a laptop on in your organization, for example, like you got a laptop with a 4 GB RAM and another laptop you got with a 16 GB RAM. It's always got a different price tag, right? Similar way here also, when you configure a VM, it depends upon what is the size or depends upon what is the type you are configuring. You may be getting a different price tag here. So you may be able to see like the different price tag is getting. So that's the way normally the configuration has been coming here. So you may be having a virtual machine has been coming here, and you can able to select a different price tag has been available here. Now this is the place where you can able to set your username and password. You can able to select the username and password here. You can able to set a username and password. You can able to see like you have a username and password. You can able to set it here. You can able to set different username and password. So whatever username and password right now we are setting, this is going to be the first administrator account, or we can able to say like this is going to be the first user which you are going to create it on in the operating system. So whatever username and password right now we are giving here, this technically it's been created as a first user inside your operating system. Whatever information or whatever credential which you are right now we are giving here, this will be updated inside your SAM file. You may be already aware that. I'll show you that how practically this user account has been coming here. Don't worry about inbound route, or because we have another session is been coming something called as NSG in a network security group. We'll have a detailed discussion about importance of inbound route, or we'll have a discussion about outbound route, or we'll have a detailed discussion about network security group also. So let's leave that portion now. Now licensing tab, whatever price tag right now we have seen, it's been configured with the help of public tab here. So basically, like along with your license has been configured here. Now, when it is coming on in a information here, when you configure any account, you have a option. When you configure it on in a cloud portal here, there are two ways the license can be configured here. One is like if you have a license, you can able to select an option like using existing license here. For example, like I already have a server has been available. I already purchased a license from Microsoft. You can able to reuse that license here. So there will be some cost reduction will happen. So that kind of a situation you can able to use that one. So you may be able to use that one here. So with the help of that, uh, you can able to use like with the help of that you can able to configure here. So with the help of that you can able to manage this ones. With the help of that you can able to manage this server here. So with the help of that you can able to reuse the existing license currently it's been available here. So with the help of that you can able to manage on in a cloud portal. So right now, in case if you are not having a license, you can just create as it is. So your pricing will include license cost also. In case if you're using reusing your existing one, then you can able to use this one. So you may be able to see you have a option has been available here. So let me review and create here. I'm not selected any option on in a disk or networking here. So I'll let me re-enter this one. This is not taken auto populated. Let me recreate this one. Just give me a second. Let me recreate, review, and create here. Right now, this VM creation, it's in progress here. Right now on the screen, you may be able to see like a green tick mark. It's giving an indication that, hey, admin, you are selected a right information. That's the reason validation or the configuration validation has been completed here. Right now, we are not selected anything on in a disk or a network or a management or a monitoring side here. So you may be able to see like you have a disk or a networking or a management or a monitoring tab you can able to see. I'm not selected anything. So technically, automatically, it's been selected the existing details here. So let me review the existing one and create it here. Let's complete that portion. Right now, the deployment, it's in progress here. Right now, this deployment, it's in progress here. Let's wait. Right now, you may be able to see deployment has been completed on in a Microsoft portal here, right? You may be able to see like deployment has been completed. Deployment is nothing. Installation has been completed here, right? So right now the server installation has been completed here. So that's the way normally the installation has been done. Let's take a 5 minutes break, tea break, and after the tea break, we'll try to see how do we connect to this server here. Right now the server has been deployed in a East US data center. After a tea break, we'll try to see how do we manage this server here. What are the options has been supported here, and we'll try to see how do we manage this server on in a cloud portal. So there is a discussion which you are going to do it on in the after the tea break here. Let's discuss after a tea break. Thank you. Let's take a 5 minutes break. Thank you. We'll be starting the session in another 2 minutes. We are given a tea break. So we'll be starting the session in another 2 minutes. So thank you, team. I hope you had a nice tea break. Let me reshare my screen again. Before tea break, we were discussing about how do we create a VM on in a Microsoft portal. Right now, we have created one VM. Right now on the screen, you can able to see like VM installation is got completed here. You can able to see deployment has been completed here. Now, let's go and see how practically we can able to connect to this VM. You may be able to see on the left side of the screen. You can able to see there is a virtual machine option you can able to see here. The moment when you click on this virtual machine, right side it will be showing you all the VM. Currently it's been installed on in my account here. Right now you can able to see the server has been configured here. It's been configured with a name. It's called server one, and it's been created under a subscription, whatever subscription we have been given, and it's been created in a East US data center. And you may be able to see the current status of my computer here. Now, if I'm clicking on this VM on top of the VM, again another window is being opening here. Right side will be giving the complete information about the VM information. Basically, you will be giving a or you will be getting a overview information like resource group, or you may be getting a information like which data center this has been created, and you may be getting information about which network this has been associated. And if you are going down or if you are scrolling down, you may be able to see the monitoring details or recommendations or properties. All this information you may be able to get it from the portal here. So that is a way normally the creation or configuration has been happening on in a portal here. Right now you may be able to see all these details you can able to see available on in a portal here. Right now you may be able to see like it is the information you can able to configuration has been available on in a portal here. Now right now we are going to discuss when you create a VM, what are the resources is currently it's been configured here. That is another important point which you are able to configure it on in a cloud portal yet. What are the options has been currently available, and you may be able to see like how practically this has been assigned on in a Microsoft portal here. You may be able to see the moment when you start creating on in a VM, on the top of the screen, you may be able to see there are few options has been available here, where you can able to see connect, restart, stop, capture, delete, refresh, and open in a mobile. This kind of option you can able to get it here. And when you configured a server, you can able to start, you can also. You may be seen like in a OS, when you connect it to operating system, inside your operating system, you have an option of restarting or shutting down or log off kind of option you are getting, right? You may be seen on in a on-premises scenario also. In case if the server is been not responding, for example, like if there is a blue screen or RDP connectivity you are not getting. Technically, normally we are connecting on into a DRAC or HP using a chassis we used to connect it, right? You may be able to see like using a chassis, you can able to or shut down or all kind of the chassis activity you can able to do it here. Similar way here also, in case if the server is been not responding, RDP is been not available, or if the server is been not connecting through the remote procedure protocol, then you can able to use this option here. For example, currently the status of my VM, it's been a running condition. Now my server is been not responding to me. In case if you want to do any kind of restart here, so you can able to click on this restart button. You can able to do restart options here. You may be able to see like you can able to click on the restart here. So the computer will be or the server will be restarted using a Microsoft Azure portal here. So you can able to use it like you may be able to see like you have a restart option is been available. With the help of that, you can able to restart or with the help of that, you can able to manage here. So that's the way normally the configuration has been available on in a cloud portal. So right now you may be able to see like you have a source has been available with the help of the portal you can able to see like it's been available here. So that the reason like you may be able to see like our option has been available where you can able to restart your computer using a portal here. So you have option for restarting or shutting down your computer using a Microsoft portal also. Right now we have initiated a restart here. You may be able to see on the right side top, you can able to see there is a bell icon or a notification symbol you can able to see here. So whatever action which you are performing on in a cloud portal, you may be able to see like all these configurations are available on in a cloud portal here. All it's been it's similar like your event viewer, right? You may be noticed like in a Windows operating system. Normally we have a Windows event viewer has been available. With the help of that, you can able to uh, capture all kind of activities been happen on in a system here. Similar way here also, you can able to see whatever action which you are coming on in a cloud portal here. You may be able to see like you have a resources been available where you can able to manage your resources here, right? You may be able to see if there's any resources been available where you can able to see like all the configurations are captured here, all the logs and everything it's been available on in the portal itself. You may be able to see the portal itself you can able to see here. So right now you may be able to see all the logs it's been captured here. Technically whatever action it's been capturing on in a log or a notification, all this information has been available on in the monitoring tool. There's something called as Azure Monitor tool. So inside a Azure Monitor tool, it's been captured here. So that's the way normally the configuration is been done. So whatever actions it's been performing, even it can be a deletion or a creation, anything which has been happening on in your Azure, by default it's been saved inside a place called monitoring tool. There is a tool is been available. It's called monitoring tool. So whatever action has been happening, whatever activity has been happening, everything it's been captured inside a place called activity log. So tomorrow, if you want to make some kind of a root cause analysis, or in case if you want to do any kind of problem analysis, you can able to use this tool. This will be helping us to understand whatever action has been performed on in your server, or in case if there is any kind of issue has been happened on in your server, that details you can able to capture with the help of your activity log. That's the way normally the troubleshooting is been done here. So let's go back to the virtual machines here. Right now on in a virtual machine, you may be able to see like you're getting an option for restarting your computer. In case if I want to shut down my computer, I can able to click on the stop button. This will help you to shut down my computer here. For example, like someone want to thinking like, no, I'm not using my VM here. In case if I want to download or in case if I want to shut down using a Microsoft portal, that you can able to do it here. So with the help of that, you have an option of rebooting, or it's like you have an option of shutting down your computer also here. Let's wait for that. Right now, this creation has been progressive. Let's wait for this is to complete. Right now, this creation is in progressive. Let's wait for complete this actions here. Let's wait. Right now, this shutting down it's been completed here. Now on in a portal, you may be able to see like you have a resource has been available where you can able to see like you have a resource has been available where you can able to manage your resources here. Right now you may be able to see you have a resource has been available where you can able to manage your details here. Right now you can able to see currently the status of your VM is actually it's been stopped here. Right now you may be able to see this has been stop mode here. So that's the way the configuration has been managed here. Right now you may be able to see currently the server has been stop mode here. In case if you want to start here, you can able to click on this start options here. Let me power on the server here. Right now just powering on the VM here. Yes, right now you may be able to see the server has been started here. Now we are getting a question. Right now the server has been configured in a East US data center. I'm sitting on in a India or Nepal or Malaysia or another country here. So technically you may be seeing we have created a VM. So you have created a VM called server one. Right now this has been placed on in a Microsoft data center. It's been placed on in a East US location. East US location has been placed. I'm sitting on in my office or in my home. So we are getting a question: how do I manage this server or how do I handle this server here? What are the options been available and how do I connect to this server here? In case if you want to connect to this server here, you can able to use different method here. You can able to have a different option is been available where you can able to see you have a different option is been supported here. One option normally we are using, you may be seeing like RDP is the one method you can able to use it here. So using a remote desktop procedure protocol or remote desktop connection, using a public IP address, you can able to connect it here. So what I'm trying to say here, instead of Robin has been traveling to East US location or traveling to Microsoft data center here, from my home, I can able to connect directly on into my system using an internet connection. Because using an internet connection, using a public IP address, you may be seeing like the moment when VM is been created, if you click on this VM properties, you may be seeing like there is a public IP address has been assigned for your VM, and you may be seeing like there is a private IP address also it's been assigned automatically. Whenever you create a VM, automatically there is a public IP address, and automatically there is a private IP address also it's been created. So difference between public IP address and a private IP address we'll discuss on in another session. So what I'm trying to say here, it's like in case if you have created any VM on in a Microsoft portal, there are different management techniques or there are different connectivity methods or modes are available, which will help us for connecting here. So one method is been like using a public IP address, you can able to take a remote desktop. Second method, using a private IP address, you can able to connect it here. You can have, you may be seeing like you have a private IP has been available. But important point you need to remember, in case if you are using a private IP address, there is a VPN to be enabled on in your network. In case if there is no VPN has been available, then you will not be able to use a private IP address, because in using a internet, you can use only public IP address. So using, in case if you are using internet, only using a public IP address only you can able to connect it here. So using a public IP address, you can able to take a remote desktop. In case if there is a VPN is been available, normally there is another session is been coming, something called as VPN. There is a three session is been, there are two type is been available, P2S or S2S or express route. With the help of that, you can able to manage it. So you have a P2S or S2S or express route. These are the mode available here. So there are different type of VPN has been available. So all of us need to keep in your mind at any point of time, in case if you want to use your VPN, or in case if you want to use a private IP address, you need to have a VPN to be available here. That's a point number one. Now another option which you can able to use it on in a cloud portal, it's basically like you can able to use a concept called gateway server. You may be heard in your organization, you will be using something called as gateway server, or some of the organization may be using a word called gem server, or some of the organization may be using a word called gem host also. You can able to connect with the help of a gateway server or a gem server or a gem host also. This is another third option for connecting to the VM here. Fourth option, you can able to install a service on in a Microsoft portal that basically known as Microsoft Azure Bastion service. You can enable a service called Microsoft Azure Bastion service. With the help of Microsoft Azure Bastion service, you can able to manage here. Alternate method for all these things, you can able to use a concept called NATing. There is a concept is called network address translation. You can able to enable network address translation on in a firewall level, or even you can enable on in a load balancer level also. So what I'm trying to say here, it's like you have a different methods are available here. For example, like you have a gateway server option, you have a bastion service option, or you have a NAT service, or you have a firewall service, or you have a load balancer, or you have a VPN, or you have a public IP address. So with the help of different connectivity modes, remotely you can able to manage your resource which has been placed on in a Microsoft portal here. So you have an option has been available, different methods are available. With the help of that, you can able to manage here. So you may be able to see like you may be able to see like you can able to connect it with the help of the portal here. Now let's go and see how practically we can able to connect with the help of a remote desktop here. Let's go and see practically how we can able to connect here. Let me show you the first method. Right now, in case if you want to connect using a remote desktop, you can able to connect it on in a server here. You can just go to the server properties here. Right now, you may be able to see I've been just connected on into a server properties. Look like it's been loading here. You may be able to see like I hope you guys are able to see the portal here, right? So let me connect it on in a server properties here. Let me go to the server properties here. You may be able to see like you have a connect option. You can able to see it. You can able to click on the connect button. You may be able to click on the connect button here. Now, the moment when you start clicking on the connect button, you may be able to see the public IP address option is being displayed here. What is the public IP address number you are seeing here? You may be able to see like 20.25.63.182, right? That is the public IP address. Currently, it's been showing here, right? You may be able to see like you have a server IP address. It's been showing here 20.25. This one. So you can able to click on the select button on the bottom here. So this will be taking to a another window where you can able to download RDP file here. So RDP file is nothing. All your details is been automatically populated inside that one. So the moment when you click on the select button, automatically you can able to see this native RDP file is been loaded here, and you can able to see like download RDP file option you are getting here. Right now, you may be able to see on the screen there is a download RDP file option is getting here. You can able to click on that download RDP file. So you may be able to see like it's been downloading a RDP file here, and you can able to see this is a currently it's been showing on into a RDP file has been downloaded on in the portal here. So you can able to download this file here. So you can just download this file, and you can able to open this file here, and this will be automatically it's been taken to a page here, right now you may be able to see automatically the public IP address and all the detail is been automatically it's been populated here. Automatically the file is been downloaded here, and you may be able to see getting a screen where you can able to enter the details here. I hope you can able to see like there is a window is been opened where you can able to enter the details here. Right now you may be able to see on the screen, you can able to see the details here. You may be able to see like the right now the screen is getting like it's asking like it's been trying to connect to remote desktop connections here. So this is the one method, or you can just go to run command where you can able to enter mstsc. That is one of the common tool or option normally we are using. You can just enter mstsc. This will be taking to a Microsoft remote desktop connection screen. On the screen you can able to enter the public IP address of the VM here. So you may be seeing on in a properties of a VM, you are getting a public IP address, right? You can able to type mstsc, and you can able to enter whatever public IP address that currently the system is having. So I'm just giving 20.25.63.182. So that is IP address of my VM here. So I can able to enter the details here, right? I hope you can able to see here. We have a MSDSC has been connected, and I can able to enter the details on the portal here. So this will help you to connect to the portal here, right? Are you able to see this connection tab here? Steve, can you just comment it on in a chat? Are you able to see like you have a remote desktop connection tab window has been opened here? Can you just comment it on the chat? Yeah. So I got a confirmation from Muhammad. Thank you, Muhammad, for confirming. It's been getting a screen here. So let me click on the option called connect here. Right now, this has been getting another message here. It's asking like, please provide the username and password, right? What is the username and password which you are going to assign it here? It's been the first username and password which you have entered while creating a VM. While creating a VM, you may be given a resource or a username and password while creating a VM, right? You may be given a first user account, right? So this is the place where you can able to enter your first username and password here. So whatever username and password which you've been created or while creating a VM you have been given, right? So I'm just entering the username and password which I have been provided while creating my VM here. So this is the first username and password. So technically, whatever username or password which you are entering here, it's been doing a authentication. So the word we can able to use is called authentication. So it's doing a validation inside your operating system. Right now, you may be able to see I just entered my username and password. So technically, the moment when I'm just given a name called TRG admin and password XXX, technically the validation it's been happening inside your operating system. Inside your operating system, there is a file is been available called security account manager. It's by default, it's been inside your root drive. So inside your root drive, your authentication has been happening. It's been validating whether this username and password has been available here. So while creating a VM, whatever username or a password which you are giving, technically this has been created inside your server here. So you can able to see it's been created inside your server here. So I'm just giving yes. I just given a username and password here. I just given yes here. So you may be able to see like it's been created here. Right now, this has been connecting to my server here. Right now, this server manager configuration has been progress here. Right now, you may be able to see we have been connected to this server here. Right now, this creation has been it's in progress here. Let's wait. Right now, you may be able to see we have been connected to server here. So right now, you may be able to see first method of connecting a server here. So we have seen how practically it's been like you have been connecting on into a Microsoft portal here. So you may be seeing like you have been RDP option. You have been seeing like how practically we can able to connect it on in a server using a RDP here. Now you may be noticed while creating a VM. Let me just move this screen little up. Right now you may be created a VM on in a portal here. Now while creating a VM, there is a few components has been automatically it's been created on in a portal here. You may be seeing like when you connect it on in a portal here, you have a VM has been created here. Right now, you may be able to see the VM name. It's been given as server one here. You may be able to see when you click on the old resource tab, which has been showing on in the left side of your screen. You may be able to see along with your VM. Right now, you may be able to see there are many other components are automatically it's been created here. You may be able to see network watcher has been created, IP address is created, network security group has been created, virtual network has been created, network interface card has been created, and disk also it's been got created here. You can able to see along with your VM, lot of other components also it's been automatically it's been created here. You may be able to see on in a system. Right now we have been connected to the server, which has been currently it's been created here. Let me go inside my computer. You may be able to see there is a two disk by default it's been created here. You may be able to see like you have a C drive has been created, and you may be able to see like there is another drive has been created that's been given as temporary storage device. So it's been given with a drive letter C and D here. So you may be able to see like if you take it on a system, there is a disk has been created and C drive has been created. If it is a Windows operating system, by default the size of your C drive is going to be 127 GB here. So by default the size of your VM it's going to be 120 TB here. So you may be able to see like you may be able to see by default it's been size of your Azure VM it's going to be 127 GB. So that depends upon the size you have been selected, and you can able to see like when you create it on in a Azure VM, by default we have seen like a 127 GB is the size you are going to get it here. Now when it is coming on in a real time scenario, it can expand up to 2 TB also. In case if you want to expand, this can be able to expand or extend up to 2 TB also. Depends upon the configuration is needed. In case if you want to extend, tomorrow the customer is saying like, I want to have my C drive is to be configured with a 2 TB. We can able to configure with a 2 TB also. And if it is a operating system, it's been Linux operating system, size is going to be having 30 GB. So 30 GB is the size. Normally it's been available yet. So you may be having a 30 GB size is been available. So 30 GB is the size. Normally you can able to see it. So 30 GB is the size. Normally you can able to see it on in a disk side. So C drive you can able to see 127 GB. And if it is a Linux operating system, 30 GB is the size is been normally it's been configured. And you may be noticed like there is another drive is been selected. and it's been given as a temporary storage here, right? Temporary storage has been size is going to be vary. It's like normally 1.5 into what is the size of the RAM you have been selected. So the size of it's been like it's going to be 1.5 into RAM size plus 1 MB is the size normally it's been created for your temporary storage. So if it is a Windows operating system, this is basically using for saving your virtual memory, or we used to use a word called page file. Or if it is a Unix operating system, you maybe heard about a concept called SAF file. This basically like some of your secondary storage. It's been acting like a RAM memory for boosting your performance of your server. Some of your secondary storage has been acting like additional uh, primary memory kind of a concept. So temporary storage is basically using for keeping your virtual memory or a SAF file. So technically, you need to remember one important point here. When it is coming on in a real time scenario, it's been not recommended to save any data on in a disk or in a D drive here, because it's been not recommended to save any data on an operating system, because in case if there is any OS failure, you may be seeing like a BIOS, or it's like in case if there is any operating system failure, or in case if your any configuration is been coming on in an OS side. So such kind of a situation, it's been very difficult for us to recover your data. So it's been not recommending us to save any data on in a C drive. Similar way on in a D drive also. Whenever your server is been rebooted here, whatever data is been available on in a D drive, it's been started in a kind of in a cleaned wipe mode here. So whatever data is been available, that's been completely wiped out and it's been started here. So that's the way the D drive or the C drive it's been normally it's been performing on in a Azure VM. So what I'm trying to say here is when it is coming on in a real time or in a production scenario, if the customer want to save any data on in a server, we need to ensure that you are configuring any additional data disk here. So you need to ensure that additional data disk is been attached or mounted to your drive here. You can add it as E drive or F drive or a G drive based on the customer requirement. So you can able to add additional drive here. So technically, it's been not recommended us to save any data on in a C drive or a data on in a C drive or a D drive. Always we need to ensure that additional disk is been created for your system, and inside that your data is been configured here. That's the point number one. You may be seeing like when it is coming on in a existing scenario, for example, like if you're configuring on-premises server, backside of your server, you may be having a network interface card is been configured, right? Some of you maybe use the word called Ethernet card, or some of the organization may be using a word called physical network card or a physical network interface card, right? So any data which has been coming or entering to your system, for example, like we used to use a word called inbound connection, or we used to use a word called outbound connection also. If any data has been entering to your system or any data has been leaving from your system, it's technically it's been going through a network interface card. When you take a on a on-premises scenario, network interface card has been physically it's been available here, but when it is coming on in a Azure VM, it's been configured in a mode of VNIC. So the term normally we are using called virtual network interface card here. You can able to see on in a portal. By default, there is a one network interface card is been configured here. You may be able to see there is a one network interface card is been automatically it's been configured for your VM here. So this network card only assigned with your public IP address or a private IP address. So all of us may be already aware that in case if you want to make any kind of communication inside your IT infrastructure, we need to have a MAC address and private IP address is needed, or IP address is needed, right? So whatever public IP address or private IP address which has been assigned or it's been created, technically this has been not assigned on in an operating system. Instead of that, it's been assigned on top of your network interface card. So technically, this has been assigned on top of your network interface card. So technically, if there is any connection if you are doing, that's been normally it's been doing on in a network interface card. So IP address has been it's not assigned on operating system. Technically, it's been assigned on top of your network interface card. So that is one important point all of us need to remember here. In another session, I'll be able to help you How to add additional network interface card. Some of you may be having a doubt in case if you want to configure any kind of network teaming. Basically, we used to use a term called NAC teaming. How do we handle that? So in case if you want to configure something called as NAC teaming, you can able to add additional network interface card. So tomorrow's session, I'll be teaching you how to add additional disk or how to add additional network interface card also. So these are the few points you can able to see it. So in case if you want to add additional to interface card, you can able to use additional options been available here. You may be able to see network interface card has been configured automatically here, and you may be able to see few other components also it's been automatically created here. So each VM you may be able to see there is a public IP address has been assigned, and there is another tool has been created, something called as NSG, that's called Network Security Group. Network Security Group normally it's been created. It's kind of an internal firewall. Any data which has been coming to your system or any data which has been leaving from your system, it's been managed with the help of NSG here. So NSG is going to be it's a kind of a uh, internal firewall where you can able to manage or where you can able to configure all kind of internal traffic or external traffic. So any data if you want to manage or it's like if you want to receive or it's been like a send, that's been normally it's been managed with the help of uh, all resources tab with the help of this options here. So with the help of that, you can able to manage it. That's the way normally the communication has been enabled on in a real time scenario here. And network watcher is the one tool right now you may be able to see on in a portal that basically it's been using for um, kind of monitoring tool, right? In case if you want to check any kind of connectivity or in case if you want to do any kind of troubleshooting on in your system, that normally it's been done with the help of a network watcher. In a troubleshooting session, I'll be discussing about importance of a network watcher, how practically this can be able to configure here. And virtual network also it's been by default it's been configured here. You may be able to see like you have able to see like if there is any configuration has been coming, that's normally it's been managed with the help of a network card here. So by default if you want to use any configuration inside a cloud here, you may be able to see like network has been mandatory here. You may be seeing like in an on-premises scenario, normally we used to connect it to a switch or hub or a router here, right? Similar way here, all your configurations are managed with the help of a um, virtual network here. So whatever configurations are using here, that normally it's been like it's been managed, it's been with the help of a network configurations here with the help of a network VNet. You may be able to see there is a VNet option has been available. With the help of that, you can able to manage here. So with the help of that, you can able to manage, or with the help of that, you can able to configure here. So that's the way normally the configuration has been handled on in a cloud infrastructure here. So in case if you want to go for any kind of management or in case if you want to configure any kind of configuration that you can able to do with the help of this additional one. So end of the day, you need to able to understand if there is any resource has been configured or a VM has been configured, automatically it's been created on in a cloud portal. It's automatically the configuration has been allowed or automatically the configuration has been additional dependent resources are created on in a cloud portal here. Now on the tomorrow's session, we'll be discussing about importance of networking here. We'll have a discussion about how public IP address or a private IP address is being configured, and we'll discuss about subnetting, and we'll discuss about NSG and other network security components here. Let me pause it here for Q&A here. Any questions related to any topic so far we have been configured here, we'll be discussing here. I can see there is a one question from Mr. Amal. Is it possible to bind or the cloud server to a cloud PC for a security issue? Yes. Normally, Amal, this has been handled with the help of a concept called disassociation here. So we won't be projecting or we won't be exposing all your public IP address currently it's been assigned to your VM because as you said, it can be a chance of a network compromise here, security compromise. So we won't be assigning public IP address to all the VMs here. That's a point number one. Second one, it's like in case if there is a server is been configured on in a cloud here, in case if you're using a public IP address, there is a cost is been associated here. So in case if I'm assigning public IP address to all my computers inside my organization, I may have to provide some additional cost to my resources here. So technically, we won't assign public IP address to all the resources here. Tomorrow we'll be discussing about how to handle such kind of a situation here. In case if I don't have a public IP address and I don't have a VPN, how do we connect to the network here? So we'll be considering all these parameters or the questions on in the another session. How do we handle or how do we connect to a VM in case if there is no public IP address here? I can see only one question here. Yes. So over to you, Sviraj. So I'm not seeing any questions on this one. So we were almost on top of the time. So over to you, Sviraj.
Okay, I guess there is nothing more for us to be discussed so far. I hope you guys are enjoying the session. There is a lot of things to be learning. I hope you are keeping the track of what we are discussing so far. And as we did yesterday, we'll share all the related things so far discussed in the session, and a couple of links or a couple of video links that might be helpful for you to learn further for today. And if there is anybody who missed out the session, we'll update the video soon in the YouTube channel. And if there are still people who are not in the community, please do join. I will share the link in the chat box so that you can get updated for the next updates and upcoming trainings and webinar that we'll be doing. So that's it for today, and thank you everyone for joining, and thank you for Robin for taking his time and sharing a wonderful knowledge with everybody here. And have a great Tuesday, everyone.
Thank you and have a great day.